Oh boy! Yes sir, the king of hip-hop, Kendrick Lamar, finally dropped his album to us peasants. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is here at last. You know, it's hard to make a review for a Kendrick Lamar album this fast because when it comes to his music, you really gotta let it sink in, let it marinate over time to fully appreciate it. I genuinely think this album will age like the finest of wines. It's Kendrick's most personal and vulnerable project to date. He steps down from his holy pedestal to let us all know he's not perfect, he's not our savior. Despite wearing the crown and being the messiah of hip-hop, he's also struggling to find peace in his own life. And I love the theatrical quality to this new project, whether it's the cinematic album cover to a lot of the piano compositions and instrumentals you'll find on here. I can just imagine Kendrick sitting on one of those theater chairs on the stage underneath the spotlight, pouring out his soul for all of us to consume. And that's kind of what this album is about. Not all of it, but I don't need to know every single detail just yet. I'll let time do its job. But for now, this is album reviews and tier list. Yeah. Starting off with United in Grief. When I was first hearing the song in my car, the album was fresh on Spotify, just dropped. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional. I love how this track lays the thematic foundation for the rest of the album. It's a fantastic intro track. This beat is experimental and frenetic. The drum programming is insane. I wanna go A tier. Ed 95 is another fantastic track, easily the most mainstream, accessible banger from the album. Kendrick has some really impressive flows and switch-ups. It's a real head bopper. Also, I gotta bring up this amazing beat. It's a combination of hard-hitting and ethereal. One of my favorites on the album so far. I'm going S tier. If we're talking lyrically and content-wise, Worldwide Steppers is an exceptional highlight. The track recaps some prominent moments in Kendrick's life during the 5-year period between Damn and this new album. The production still slaps though. That beat switch is both subtle and mind-blowing. It's an A tier. Die Hard goes in a more smooth R&B direction, especially with the gorgeous inclusion of Blxst and Amanda Reifer. Kendrick wants to open up to his girl, but his insecurities make that hard for him. It's a nice soft cool down after the first 3 tracks, which are more intense and heavy. I'm still going A tier. Father Time is a masterpiece. The chord progression on this song is beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, we got Sampha's vocals on the chorus. I swear to God, Sampha's singing can cure the deaf. And Kendrick goes into a really introspective and vulnerable space on this track, talking about his strenuous relationship with his dad, who he still loves very much, but you know, no relationship is perfect. And trauma can still be passed down from one generation to another. It's basically a track about daddy issues. S tier. We got the Rich interlude. Listen, we all know Kendrick Lamar interludes are fire. Kodak Black, out of all rappers, drops some poignant poetry. Yeah, it's great. B+. I love the vibe that I get from Rich Spirit. It's melancholy and low in energy, but I still really enjoy this production and Kendrick's vocals. Also, I find it interesting how the song is called Rich Spirit, but the song does not sound rich at all. It sounds like a man about to break down. It's a cool juxtaposition. I'm gonna go B+. We Cry Together is one of the most angry and visceral songs I've heard in my life. The performances from Kendrick and Taylour Paige are so raw. I don't even know how to describe it. Intense does not cut it. It's excessively intense. The song itself plays out like a heated fight between a couple, and both of them are spitting insults at each other. It's a competition to see who can make the other person feel more insecure. And while it's not the most enjoyable song on the album, I have to give it the S tier. Purple Hearts is the necessary moment of healing that I needed after going through the previous torturous song. I love this very vibrant production, and then hearing Summer Walker on this track, especially on her verse, is another beautiful moment. And then Ghostface Killah pops up on the last leg of the track to deliver a fantastic verse. I'm going A tier. Count Me Out is another highlight on the track list. Kendrick does a great job starting off the second disc of the album. His flow and lyrics are great. I also love all the ad-libs from DJ Dahi and Sam Du. I want to go A tier. Crown shows Kendrick rapping in a more mellow tone on top of the somber piano instrumental. My favorite part about this one is the outro. You get Kendrick going off vocally. It's not the most hype song, but still a really important contemplative moment on the album. I'm gonna go B+. Silent Hill is one of my personal favorites on the album, and surprisingly, it's because of Kodak Black's feature. He just slides on this chill, more low-key production, he actually manages to outshine Kendrick on his own song. Kendrick still delivers though. This song has one of my favorite hooks on the album, A tier. Savior interlude is another hot violin banger. Baby Keem gives a great performance. Let's go B+ on this one. Then on Savior, Kendrick addresses his own savior complex, rejecting his role as hip-hop's king or savior. Really, at the end of the day, he was looking out for himself and trying to become a better person. Yeah, fantastic song. It's a high A tier. Bro, these last 4 tracks hit different. Auntie Diaries is about Kendrick coming to terms with his aunt's transition into a man. Although I wouldn't bump this song randomly on the aux, I still love this song's message. I also love how the song slowly crescendos as it reaches closer and closer to the end. It really feels like a journal entry that Kendrick is writing. Another high A tier. Then we get Mr. Morale. Oh my god, I love this song to death. Pharrell pops up with this beat, which sounds like it was plucked straight out of the Black Panther soundtrack. Again, another fantastic banger with a message, with substance. A tier. Mother I Sober is a song that is really hard to listen to. It's heart-wrenching, but also therapeutic in a way. I want to go more in-depth on this song in another video, but for now, it's a contender for the best song of the year. S tier. Mirror brings back that electronic Black Panther production that I love. It's kind of the perfect outro for this album. Kendrick talking about how he chose himself and his own mental health over trying to please his fans with new music. Another high A tier for me. And guys, that is Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Expect more videos about this album in the following weeks, and expect Kendrick to disappear again for another 5 years. And if you haven't already, please listen to this masterpiece. Love you. Peace out.